Hello and welcome to tonight's Sketchy Live. This video, last night creating this wonderful campfire on my smashed iPad, and yeah, so my next double page spread is pretty much going to be blank as a background. So it's time to start going through and working on the characters, start filling out. So I've got all the backgrounds for the Elijah and Crumpet second kids book. Hey Elijah and Crumpet, Rob, how you doing? I'm just going to see, there's apparently this thing where I can tap your comment and I can pick a comment and it will come up on screen. Hey, that's cool. I don't know how long it will stay there for, but it's selecting a comment. That's really cool because I want to do a bit of a Q&A type thing, and I have selected some questions which are completely fictional. I've grabbed from other live streams because no one's asking questions. So yeah, I'm having trouble getting focus right on on the screen here. Chef at Snap, how's you going? Are you going live via YouTube? I'm going live via the Prism Live Studio app on my mobile phone. Don't we have 13 pages? Yes, so what I was mentioning the other night is that there's one where they're setting up the tents. I want that to have a white background. I kind of want to design it a bit like a plan view, like an instruction manual, kind of something like you get from IKEA, but not like a rip-off copy of it, and have Crumpet all tied up in the string of a tent on the left-hand side, and then with Elijah helping him on the right-hand side. So not really a background for that one. And also the last one, there's not really a background as well. So what have we got there? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's the other 2 pages. So that kind of, if not, we can add background later, but I kind of feel they'll kind of work well like that. So going back to the first page, this is the text where it can show, without giving the game away, as to all the secret part of the story. And as you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm just using some of a wall colour just to kind of soften the background there, so then that text pops out a bit more. Now going into, I've already had a look at the storyboard to make sure I don't have the text on there. That is going to be a problem. Are we doing black text again throughout? I don't know, because we did mainly black text. I think there was a bit of white text in Motivate Man. Is that right? I'm not sure. I have to go back and have a look. Either way, it's easy to change. I was thinking kind of a purple wall. The white looks okay. Looking at the backgrounds, a lot of them are solid colours, so maybe white actually might work better this time. But with Procreate, it's quite easy to change. So I think we can kind of, have a look and and make some decisions as we go there. So going back to the, where are we? Going back to the storyboard here. This is the kind of a page we're doing. We'll kind of want Crumpet on the swing outside. Elijah talking by the phone, which actually isn't in the first edition of Motivate Man. It's funny, we illustrated it and everything, and this banana phone here, and for some reason I didn't put it in. I don't know what's going on. And we got Safi the cat over here. Now, rather than reinvent the wheel, I'm kind of going to have a look through the original Motivate Man book, see if there's any illustrations of these guys which are in similar poses that I can do some kind of adjustments to make them appropriate for. We've got Elijah by the phone. Now, there was one I had in mind, and there was one where Rob, you're happy with the way Elijah's face looks in this shot. One thing I had trouble with, I mean, it's the first time I've had to do it. I've had to try and recreate somebody's face who exists over several pages, all throughout an entire book, and make them recognisable as the same character, apart from their costume. So save that image, and yes, that's a good one. Yep, awesome. And so we'll go into Procreate here. Get our first page, and of course he's not going to be wearing Motivate clothes, he's going to be wearing other clothes, but at the moment it's just going to be a blank shirt and shorts. Now I can get rid of this one, and I can add, sorry. And I have Elijah here by the phone, but he's obviously not going to be waving. He's not going to be holding on to the phone like this. So somewhere in like this, got to get the sizing right as well. I want to make him big, but not too big. And then go with that for time being. Oops, just put a black dot there. And just delete that again. And keeping clear of the middle and the edges, yes, of course, yep. Oops. I'm just trying to work out whether, I didn't really notice this before, but I don't really have a floor in shot. Whether I just have his feet out of shot or whether that's going to look weird. Whether I have to increase some background there. Which would be a pain to have to do that now. he could be closer. Yeah, that's also true. So he could be, yeah. Yep, thank you, Rob. That is... get him a bit more, because this is the very first page where we see Elijah in book 2. So so that's a good one. Yep, so we're up to page 11. What I'll do as well is I will go my rough guide just for page middle, so we're not running too close to the edge here. And that'll be fine because Elijah's arm, I think, will be down, and this other arm. So, yep, that works. We can do that. Now, the thing is, I need to think about this in terms of layering. Yeah, I think I might layer. I think I might draw Elijah first and layer him in, because I've got 15 layers. To 12 already. I'll get the line work in. And I'll get the colours. No, I think that'll be okay, because I'll be deleting this one as well. It'd be nice to be able to actually draw in here. So and we go with my normal HB pencil, get the thickness up, and away we go. Now what I might do as well is what about that one there? That one there, just kind of clear things up a little. And what I can do once the eyes and everything are in place, I can move the eye position around and things like that. Muck around with the head position and all that kind of jazz. And this could very well just be what I'm doing here could very well be just my first getting the kind of shape. And I can do some erasing and adding and moving things around just when I've got the initial shape down. So it's actually stinking hot here today, Rob. Don't know what the weather's like where you are, but so what's it, the second day of spring, and it's like 32 degrees, and we haven't got air conditioning in our bus yet, so that's we're going, we need to organise that air conditioner. We really do. But yeah, it's meant to, the weather's meant to come in tonight and start pouring down and hopefully cool things off. It's currently 20, look, it's, what is it, like 9:30 at night, same scorcher, yeah. It's about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night here, and it's about 27 degrees in the bus at the moment. It's going, what's going on? It's summertime already. Massive downpour last night. Or maybe that's what's coming through our way, because yeah, it's because we were out in the country here too, and it's been very dusty, and hence why there's probably potentially going to be some lightning and stuff later on. Be cool to have some lightning in the live stream, but you know. As long as the kids don't wake up. Good news, Brisbane Library just brought 3 copies for their libraries. That is fantastic. I'll have to put that up there. That is very good news. It's so cool to have it in a library. It's a bit like, you know, that thing of, I think if you were, I always thought if I was a filmmaker and I got my DVD in the DVD shop, I would think, yeah, I've made it. And I suppose this is kind of you. I think it's the equivalent, getting into libraries. That's pretty damn cool. So yeah, congratulations, Rob. That's fantastic. And I dropped off the remainder of the 300 books to Variety Queensland. That is super cool. So the books, they're getting out there, the message is getting out there, which is what we want. So I'm gonna just go with the real basics of Elijah's face, and that way if I want to move things around to suit the scene, I can. Plus 1,000 of our new stickers. That is very cool. I'm really happy with those new stickers. They look fantastic, I think. A bit thinner, I think, here. So I had my first taker of a free PDF of Motivate Man from a website. Is that the colouring in? Is that the colouring in page? That'd be cool. So bring this up a bit here for the rest of the. All you have to do is leave your name and email. Very cool. It's your opt-in. It's your freebie. It's your. I'm sorry to reduce it to the. No, the full book. Oh, cool. Ah, I see. A PDF of the entire book. Wow. I thought it was the colouring in pages. Okay. Like funnel marketing, yeah, I know. I think that is the most disgusting term. Get you in my funnel. It's not very personal. It's not very. My marketing funnel. How lovely. I'm in the funnel. I like to think of it more as a journey. It's not a funnel. Why can't they call it a journey or something? It'd be much more pleasant going on a journey than getting sucked down a funnel. That's just my. Sometimes marketers have got some crass terms, I think. But I do listen to a lot of marketing podcasts, so I hear all about those things. So, get some rough kind of shape of a t-shirt here. I don't know, my name is Elijah, I have something to share. If your parents agree. I don't know. You should be doing. We should be holding something. Just standing there, we've got the phone. Trying to think what the stance is. I'm in the doodly tunnel, beginning e-harassment by offers. Yeah, exactly. Oh yes, I saw those. They look really cool, those kind of sketching advertisement type things that you can create. So I'm just trying to think. Standing there like that. Talking straight to the reader. Yeah, I mean, you can have, arms can just hang down beside. That's what they normally do. Maybe not sitting out like that, but and these kind of eyeballs. Kind of straight towards. Like so. I think. Could have two arms out. Ah, yes, Elijah does that with his hello. Okay, yeah, that's great. Yes, you're right. So, it's like a welcome, arms outstretched. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Rob. For helping me. Sometimes it's like, yeah, it's funny because when I was doing in the filmmaking, doing short films and stuff like that, it's always a bit of a funny thing when you're in a scene talking to someone or whatever. Your arms just hang there. You move them around. What do you normally do with your arms? Okay, so converge that one down. And I am absolutely, it is so hot. Absolutely sweating tonight. We certainly do need to get this air conditioner. It was not long ago we were like, oh, we got to get the heater in the bus. All of a sudden we got to get the air conditioner in the bus. That's looking like the rough sketching of it. something like that. Elijah is actually very movie with his arms. What's the word for that? Expressive. So what I'll do is take that one. And get a bit more fixed with his arm shape. Fixed and simple. So wait a minute. He's got his hands like that. His thumb's on the outside. Oh my god. You got your hands like that. The thumbs are at the top. God. Okay. Need a piano. Yeah. Did have a piano. Wouldn't fit in the bus, so it was very heavy. So as soon as I stop doing some very brain taxing things here, I'll get into some Q&A. Pre-prepared questions. I had some last night, which was really good. And I just kind of put them in, chatting in the live stream, and turned one of them into a short little podcast. I thought I could convert them into short little podcasts, so that's kind of a nice way to create some live stream, extra content from your live stream. Might be able to hear some cats around here. So where we're currently constructing our bus is this guy's house, which is out in the country, and he collects scrap metal, but he gets money from whenever farmers have auctions and stuff like that. So there's a whole heap of agricultural equipment and stuff like that. Anyway, so the yard is very full of stuff, and seems to be the neighbourhood cats seem to like it, and quite often we're hearing some crazy cat fights in the night. And this screen's a pain. Sometimes it doesn't really work properly the way you want it to work. I was going to be getting the new screen tomorrow. I'll actually be getting it Saturday now. Just because we are a long way away from things, and we're having to incorporate it into another trip. And get it all done at once. It's just one extra night that I have to put up with this thing, and it saves an extra probably 3 hours on the road, so it's probably worth doing. So just gonna go. Looks a bit better size-wise. Yeah. I've got to put his shirt on. Yeah. Now that's that one. Sketch outline, get your eraser out, go real big, take it that underneath, so we can merge those two, because I kind of accidentally went a bit of a crisscross with my layers. Like so. Yeah, I think we've probably got a bit too lumpy on this one. Bit too much of a, what would you call it, a Popeye bulge. So he's been eating his spinach. That's a bit better. Okay, and we've got his head. That's weird what I've done here. Muscles, yes. Don't give a better. I would like to know what's going on here with, okay, so that is the outline. I must have made it transparent. I merged it when it was transparent. Man, oh man. These things happen sometimes. So, what I will do, HB pencil, up full, go over this again, delete the one underneath. These things can happen. And often do. And this is literally, been doing backgrounds for so long. This is literally my first character drawing in some time. So yeah. But you see, the thing is, I think a good method is that I'm doing is running through doing all the backgrounds, because there's a lot of similar styles and approaches that you do your backgrounds, then go through and do all the characters, because then you kind of get into a groove of all the characters, and then go through, do all your texture shading and highlights, because then you get in the groove of that as well, rather than getting bogged down in any one page for too long. And that way you kind of start with the bones of the book, the background, and work up. This is why people don't do live streams. You make mistakes. Fail boldly in public. But it's okay. There's nothing we can't come back from. There goes those cats again. How are you doing it now? How are you doing it now is a great plan. Yeah, I think so. And, you know, at the moment, oops, hitting the camera. I'm on target, you know. It's an easier way to monitor how long everything's taking in terms of your overall deadline. Here we go. It's looking a bit better. Now, so I'm basically rubbing out all the head. Yep, I might do the eyes first. Before I get carried away there. go. Looking good. I am merging that one down to there. That's where overhead detail is. Why can't you tell us? Why can't you tell us what this book is? Why can't you tell us what this book is? What do you mean? Not sure. Is that one we should put up on the thing? Why? This is the Q&A. Why can't you tell us what this book is? Well, I'm under strict instructions from Rob, from Elijah and Crumpet, that a certain element of this book is to not be exposed. And so that means creating it is a little tricky when you're doing it live. But, you know, I think we're getting away with it quite well. And it's nice to keep a few surprises of a book's release, I suppose. Does that answer your question, Rob? Now, Rob, I got a question from you from last night, which is, and sadly I don't have the question loaded still, is what is your writing process as the author of the Elijah and Crumpet books? What's your writing process? How do you decide what to write? And once you've decided what to write and what your book will be about, how do you actually go about structuring your book? Do you come up with a basic outline and then start fleshing it out, or do you just think of cool words that rhyme in your head and start to put it together that way? How does it actually work? I know that a bath is involved, so it's time to start spilling some of your secrets, Rob, because you seem to be able to crank a story out quite quickly, and I've found writing a kid's book very hard because I've tried, and yeah, it'd be interesting to know. Hopefully in a month we'll be able to let the cat out of the bag. Yes, hopefully. So, still got a few missing bits. I've got to get rid of that eyebrow, that bit of nose, that bit of mouth. That's all gone. A bit of thing up there. Okay, here we go. Topic first of the main theme. So, writing tip is topic first, then the main theme. Okay, I'm gonna do that scary thing of merging down. There we go, it's all there. Then 2 methods. We're getting it in little bits and pieces. The secret to writing kids' books. Okay. Now what we're can do is go in with a colour picker. And no, did that wrong. Need the right layer. No, it's a larger outline. Where have I got a gap? Maybe it's just a threshold on the thing. Here we go, I've got my brush in the wrong. Got to have him over here so I've got enough room to move the brush. Here we go. Now that doesn't look creepy at all, does it? Okay, I gotta get some important stuff up here. So, number one, structured. So I think of the different parts I have to include, and I map that out in notes on my phone. Cool. And go here for there. And two, free flow story with intro, problem and solution. Nice. It's like it's a story, intro, problem, solution. It's the 3-act structure. Is that right? That we're dealing with here. Okay. Oh yeah, I did need to do a bit more of Elijah's skin here. Motivate Man was kind of flowing as a story, yeah, okay. I don't know, this one seems to flow really well as well. I mean, not to give it away, but it's flowing really well too. And where does the bath come in, Rob? I mean, it sounds like hard work. Surely the bath has got to become an integral part of it somewhere. Now I'm trying to use 13 pages max to keep the printing costs down, therefore recommended retail price 2 and weight of shipping. Yeah, but it's all things you got to think about. And a lot of things that people potentially don't think about. You seem to have a very good knack of thinking of, you know, the entire vision. This one I had 6 topics, so after the intro and ending it was complete, then each page. Yeah. Right. Now in here, uh-oh. We've got an awake kid in the back. And I haven't got a pre-prepared video that I can put on to keep people entertained while you notice things go very quiet when I'm concentrating on each page. I find rhyming comes quite easily. I could always write a speech about something in rhyme, just thinking of key words. Yeah. No, you certainly got that down. So what I want to do here is bring up opacity and match this. It's a bit of variation of a blue, but if I start with a lighter part of a blue, then I can add the shadowy bits in. Whoops. I did something that I didn't want to do. Okay. Alright, so how many layers am I on? I'm on, I think I'm probably on 12 or 13, which will give me enough so I can add some pupils on a separate layer. And then duplicate that. Like so. That's why it's in the wrong layer, isn't it? I should have known. tongue colour. Actually, I better merge these down. Merge down, and I'll merge it onto the outline as well. Just go back up and check that that's okay. Yep. Get the tongue colour. Okay. And then I just use the calligraphy monoline and just kind of fill in behind there. So it kind of keeps the pink in the mouth as well. Well, that is a very basic Elijah. There's a lot of shading and highlights to be done. But Elijah, very basically, is in there. A little bit, I'm going to need to add a bit of texture to these lines and stuff so they're not so dark and bold. Maybe I'll do that with the still with the HB, so it's not quite so. And then I can come in with the colours and actually convert some of these black lines to coloured lines instead. Because one thing I can also do is go, okay, so I've got that. See, that doesn't look very good, does it? Look at my Sketchy Live. Okay, better bring that back before and maybe try monoline again. That way I can introduce a bit of colour to those lines from behind the image. So it's just not such stark black. Oops. Sometimes the number of words or syllables don't fit the rhyme or flow when it's read out. So I have to think how someone would naturally read it first time and adjust accordingly. Yeah, it's a tricky thing. And also I find in some books, oops, I just made a better made a layer visible. No one saw anything today. So there we go. Well, that is Elijah pre-shading, pre-highlights and pre-shadows. I think that's pretty good. Now I've got to get Crumpet in here. Over on the swing, let's go out and into our good old friend Adobe Draw. Yeah, this one up here could be, I could be able to incorporate that kind of a thing into the swing. Don't know if he's isolated there. He's not isolated there. Let's see, unless we can just do it. From scratch, but as I said, we don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. Okay. I'm just going to play with this and see what happens, so bear with me. Now I'm going to merge outline. Let me just make sure I'm looking at it so nothing horrific happens when I do it. I hope that was okay. And I can get rid of this one. Oops, like so. And then I can insert photo. Now, what I will do is that Crumpet will be good in the tie. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's got good, especially when we do a flip horizontal. And oh wait, this is fun. Yeah, I'll just change where the tire is. Have the tire like that because he's going to have a cape on as well. Can you cut him out? Yes, I can, totally. So what I can do here is this is the total beauty of working in layers. So I'll just get rid of the rest of this here. And then I can be working just with Crumpet. Then I can readjust what's happening with the tyre. Sorry, Elijah. You're already on the page. You can't be on the page too many times. You go. Were they already a PNG object? They're a PNG object in the layers. So yeah. The only thing is like, okay, so zoomed right in, pixely and really bad, but when you look at it in the scheme of the page size, he's going to be like about that big. You know, might be a matter of refreshing and going around his outline a touch just to kind of sharpen him up a bit. Because going back to gallery here, going back to storyboard, he had the cape on, yeah, so we've got to put the cape on him. Let's just see what happens. No, nothing, because I'm not on the right layer. Could have one arm going around the back of that tyre. Like so, I have to work out something with a doorknob there. And still on that background. And so this part of Crumpet's hand can go behind the tyre. Wherever Crumpet is, here he is. Getting into the pixels of it here. that bit of his arm gone as well. To look like his arm's holding around the tyre. I think it's going to work pretty good. Obviously putting the rope back in. Make it a bit more horizontal, okay. Let's get a better look at the page first. So let's get horizontal first, so we've got a reference. Yeah, that's pretty good. And so I'm going to check another layer on top just to put in the rope. Make him a bit more horizontal. If the tire is around his chest. And there's also another option. Let's have a look at that. It does look good. I'm gonna put a rope here, just to have a look. Let's have a look. That's not the colour I want. Check I'm on the right layer still. I'm actually just gonna delete. Actually, get rid of that little bit sticking out there because I know it's not going to be where I want it. It needs to be down here. Down here. And going back up to here. Get a black on there. Whoa. Keep bumping the thing. Even more so, I think. Like it's coming in from there. I think that's got up. And I need to make a Motivate Man cape. It would be 100% straight with his weight. Yes, I get what you mean, yep. And it is. So, merge that one down. Layer 12 here. Get in back into sketching with a HB. Probably go over his shoulder. And be a question of like, so this is going to be some weird and wacky perspective trying to do the logo on here, but we do know it was going to be thin and a bit curved. I'm going to have to bring this down a bit more. Yeah, that will work. I think I'll be alright. I think I'll probably be more effort to get the cape from the other drawing than to recreate this one small, because I'm getting it just for right angle that I want it. Once I've added some colour and shading to that, I think I mustn't forget that doorknob either, by the way. So layer 13, that's good. We can bring back this one. We can get a colour match on here. The cape, just make that go away for a minute. Get on here. Lovely. And then we get the yellow match. And make sure I'm on the right layer. That's the layer I want. Oh, very cool. I'm liking this. Add a bit of, get rid of that one now. in here just for a bit of black. HB pencil. Just kind of create a bit of a... Oops, gotta keep bumping, stop bumping that. Getting excited, that's all it is. But then, you know, am I crossing over into that boundary of starting to do shading and textures? I kind of am a bit. But that's cool. So I've got a HB eraser just to kind of come over the line a bit. Give it a bit of varied line width. I think I've got something down here I need to get rid of. I need to go back to the monoline for that. Got a little bit of something here. Oh, is that in the background? What's behind? Oh, it's a part of a tree. Looks a little bit like an error. I might just copy that. Super Crumpet. I really love that in the background because it's quite small and you know, it's a nice little nod back to the first book. Cool. This is very good. So I've got to do a bit of writing on the other side of a page, which I need to do in secret. And when I come back on the next pass, I'll be able to do all the shading and everything on Elijah and the highlights and the texture and stuff like that, and obviously the correct clothing. But yeah, that's super cool. Hour and 36 minutes in. Still got work to do when I finish the live. So that's really good. It's starting to come together. Getting a feel for that page. Can't forget the doorknob. Now I need to work out what's going on here first. So got to work out where so that was from moving the tire. So I've got to work out what layer that tire was on. This is where it can get a bit tricky and painful. Either that, or it might be easy just to recreate the doorknob in the foreground. Super Crumpet reference back to an earlier work is called An Illusion. Thanks, Google. Okay. A nod, an homage, is what that's what I would have called it, an homage. But I often choose the wrong words, so be suggesting. And you know what? I haven't answered any of the questions on the Q&A, but you know what? That's okay. Those Q&A questions can wait till next time, because it was good having a chat with you, Rob, talking about your process for writing books, which was the one question we looked at yesterday. So this is what my questions look like. I'll just pick one at random. You'll like this one. How long does it take to illustrate a page? Okay. So each page, I think a background will take me about a couple of hours to illustrate. But then, you see, like looking back on the original way that I did it, I would sketch it out in pencil, then which would take probably an hour and a half to 2 hours to sketch out in pencil, and then I'd photograph it, then I'd put it into Adobe Draw, then I'd colour it. That would probably take another couple of hours. That's just the background. Then I'd do each character. I'd sketch that. Probably all the characters on the page would probably take a couple of hours each. Well, for all the characters, I mean. Maybe a couple of hours each, so maybe like 4 hours. Then I got to colour them as well, so like that was like, so adding this up, 2, 4, 6, 8, probably on the original book 10 hours, 12 hours, probably something like that. On this current book I'm going through, I'm probably doing, so each night I'm kind of roughly getting started about 9 and going roughly to about 11 or midnight or something like that. Every day we're doing it to the end of September. And as you can see, the process has sped up a lot more since we can just use work from before and make adjustments and stuff like that. So yeah, what I'd probably say 2, 4, 6. So probably still a double page spread is probably looking like about 8 hours or something like that for a double page spread, I would say. But last night I was talking about Where's Wally, and his double page spreads apparently take, is it Martin Hannaford? I couldn't remember the name. You would know this one, Rob, I'm pretty sure. Martin Hannaford, anyway, his double page spreads for Where's Wally would take 8 weeks to draw. But pretty much just looking at his net worth and doing some figurings and stuff like that, I reckon he's been roughly paid about $1 million per double page spread for the amount of books that he sold. So that's probably 8 weeks well spent, I reckon. English illustrator Martin Hannaford, yes. Yep. So big fan of Where's Wally. What have I got here? I found something. found a line that I need to erase. I'll muck around with that. I won't do that live. But yeah, thank you for joining, Rob. If you haven't, could you please hit the thumbs up? I'm sure you have. You're very good at hitting the thumbs up. Maybe drop a comment as well, just because, you know, the algorithm, maybe somebody else might get to see it too. And I'll try and schedule the next live, because I think scheduling a live, people get to see it's coming up and they can set a reminder and stuff like that. And I think it's a great way to promote the live. And try and get some people in here and hanging out, drinking coffee, drawing, having fun, answering some questions. So yeah, until next time, Rob and anyone else watching the playback, we'll catch you later, and good night.